Available at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City, off Cadtron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City. Host your next big event at the Box Elder Event Center, now featuring all new lighting, enhanced sound, and cutting-edge AV. Your destination for conventions, conferences, weddings, tournaments, concerts, and private parties of all kinds. Plus, their gourmet catering isn't just for on-site events, they'll deliver straight to you. Don't miss the Pickle Boo Pickleball Tournament and Fall Hoop Fest. Learn more and book today at thebox.live.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
They really appreciate what she's done as a sister as well as a soldier and, supporting their country.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Family members that are soldiers in the Army National Guard inspire and influence, setting a path for others.
It's validating knowing that, I kind of did my part to make sure this is what they actually wanted and that they feel the same way I do. I'm really proud that we get to help shape the future, and I know that my sisters are going to be amazing soldiers.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share in.
A lot of pride, and they're just out there doing something every day and then serving their country as well.
I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture.
Visit nationalguard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the South Dakota Army National Guard. Aired by the South Dakota Broadcasters Association and this station.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City. The Black Hills Sports Station. 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
And here's what you need to know.
Today, the Boston Red Sox won their 15th consecutive game. They beat the Baltimore Orioles 6-3 at Fenway Park in Game 1 of a doubleheader. Longest winning streak in the major leagues in 5 years. It also ties a franchise record. Overall, the Red Sox have won 20 of their last 22 games, and they will go for their franchise record 16th win in a row in Game 2 of the doubleheader at 7:10 Eastern. The Pittsburgh Pirates scored 2 runs at the top of the 10th inning for a 5-3 road victory over the Yankees, also in Game 1 of a doubleheader. Second game of that one will begin at 4:05 Eastern. Kansas City Royals edged the San Francisco Giants 5-4 to sweep their 3-game series. The Milwaukee Brewers defeated the New York Mets 4-3. Right now, the Arizona Diamondbacks lead the Athletics 14-2 after 6 innings. Diamondbacks scored 7 in the bottom of the 5th, 5 more in the bottom of the 6th. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. We are ready to go. The Nate Brown Show is live. Glad you're here. South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. Yes, ready on a Wednesday where it is always a great day in South Dakota. Welcome in the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio, KWSN Sioux Falls. Ready to go. East River, yes, and Fox Sports Rapid City. West River, welcome in the Nate Brown Show back and streaming on X. Find us there at Nate Brown Show. Follow us and watch us live at Nate Brown Show. Finally, YouTube channel, also good. Get us on YouTube, subscribe, you're good to go. The Nate Brown Show. Find us there, search The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.com. And you're all set. By the way, Midwest Sports Plus, saying hi to everybody listening on the new high school sports streaming app, Midwest Sports Plus. Thanks for checking in. If you don't have it, get live games and the Nate Brown Show, Midwest Sports Plus. Looks good on a Wednesday. A couple of new guests popping in. Haven't had them in a while. And some of our great A-listers throughout. Let's look at it. John Bryce is in tonight from SEC Media Days. John Bryce on tap. You take a look at this. He's got a lot of headlines down there. John Bryce in from usatoday.com. We'll talk a little Kalen DeBoer. DeBoer did his press conference today. One big question that got my attention in. We'll talk to the John Bryce, USAtoday.com college football writer. We'll go to Brian Noe, A-lister, back on the Nate Brown Show, you bet. Brian Noe is in, Fox Sports Radio national host of Countdown. Going to go up to North Dakota tonight. This is one of the best college hockey writers. Now, we don't talk a lot of hockey, but headline out of UND Hockey today, which is interesting, and Brad Elliott Schlossman is in tonight from the Grand Forks Herald. An update on UND Hockey, and it's a big story out there. We'll get to it. Brad Elliott Schlossman is in. And Major League Baseball, let's get an update. All-Star break's over. Trade deadline's coming. Where are teams at? American League, can the Twins stay in this? It doesn't feel like they're really in it, but I guess they're kind of in it. Scott Pianowski's on tonight, Major League Baseball writer at Yahoo Sports. Packed Wednesday show, that's how it looks. Let's get you on. 605-720-1067. Join the program. 605-720-1067. That is the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch, East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. The best buffet in town is at the Pizza Ranch. We know that. And the Barron's Wilson text line ready to go. 605-720-1067. The Barron's Wilson listener text line for you. Answer our question of the day and all that good stuff. So, hey, I've got something fun tonight. I saw this from my buddy Mike Taylor down in San Antonio. They were talking about some sports topics that are unpopular in the state of Texas. And so I thought, hang on a second, I want to be, you're not always original here. You got to take some of the good content from other people, but let's not take it from Texas. I wanted to bring it. This is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. And so Mike Taylor was talking about, hey, what are some opinions you have in Texas that would make you a villain? That would make you a villain. And it was good stuff. I was listening to that side of it. I want to do that in South Dakota. I said, I'm going to open that up because we talk a lot of South Dakota topics, and I know some get underneath people's skin. I know some make you a villain, and so I'm going to do that myself. And by the way, I'm going to throw that out to you tonight across the state. Fox Sports Rapid City, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, however you're listening tonight, if you can hit us. Think about this now. So this is how I phrase this, okay? A lot of good South Dakota sports topics, high school to college, not as much at the pro level, right? So I'm going to go with my top 3 sports opinions in South Dakota that make you a villain, okay? I'm stealing this from Mike Taylor down in Texas. They have all sorts of Texas hot takes. I'm going South Dakota hot takes, and so I need your help on that as well. I may be missing some, but I'm going to go 3 opinions people throw out there, and I've heard these. I've heard all 3 of these, and I wonder which one makes you the biggest villain in South Dakota, okay? So if you have one just off the cuff, just off the top of your head, if you have one, hit us on the text line, 605-720-1067, or I will do the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline if I can fit you in as well. Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, 605-720-1067. This is your South Dakota sports opinion that would make you the biggest villain in your home state. Okay? I've got 3, and then I'm going to add an honorable mention because it was kind of tough. I'm probably going to miss some along the way. That's why I'm counting on you to hit us tonight. Here on South Dakota Sports Talk Show, okay? I'm going to go top 3 to open the show today. South Dakota version of sports opinions that will make you the biggest villain. Now, I'm going to start with this one. I'm not ranking these per se. These are just top 3 that I think are going to make you a villain in this state. One is talking SDSU and USD going to the FBS. Now, I'm of the opinion that SDSU and USD should absolutely start that work and get ready and be aggressive to go to the FBS. And yet I hear a lot on this program, on social media, just across the board. Nah, we should stay FCS. I hear it a ton. And you guys might be saying that tonight. So that's what I mean. Not everybody is on board with this opinion. Okay, so that makes my top 3 for sure. I believe SDSU and USD both should be ready, aggressive, fundraising, working the back channels, doing the whole thing. If the Mountain West is looking to expand even more, SDSU and USD better be ready. Now, to take this even further, one of them can't go without the other, meaning SDSU's a little bit ahead. They're just ahead overall, institution-wise, fundraising-wise, the whole thing, facility-wise. So SDSU's ahead, and people say, well, SDSU can't, they aren't going to be able to work a deal to go FBS. Well, NDSU did it. So they did it in North Dakota. They broke them up, NDSU and UND. So I'm not so sure that holds true. I think if the Mountain West called SDSU, I don't know if Justin Sell and the guys would worry a lot about USD. So that's just a little side story on this. But I will tell you this. I always include USD in this category because I would like to see both of them. If the FBS is going to add and we're going to have some realignment and the whole thing, I'd like to see the Jacks and the Yotes stay together. I don't think we want one to change, one not to change. I really don't. I think that really has some upheaval there. So I'm going to say sports opinion that makes you a villain in South Dakota, SDSU and USD should go FBS. I have that opinion. I'm going to tell you, if they have the opportunity, they should. I'm not telling you to do a Sacramento State and a PR campaign and just say you're going no matter what. I'm not saying that. I am saying if I have the choice to stay FCS or go FBS, I believe the Jacks and the Yotes should be ready to go. Some of you say no. I respect it, but that makes my top three. Sports opinion that makes you a villain in South Dakota. We're getting some answers on the text line. I like this. 605-720-1067. Here's one that comes in, and it was going to get close on this. I was going to get close with this one. I really was. Move the bees out of Aberdeen. That would make you a villain in Aberdeen for sure. And I think it would make you a villain with Class B schools, because you Class B schools love going to Aberdeen for state tournament. I don't know anybody that really doesn't love the bees in Aberdeen, so careful with that opinion, but I knew somebody might throw that out there. Thanks for checking in. Move the bees out of Aberdeen. Sports opinion that makes you a villain in South Dakota. I think, again, that makes you a villain in Aberdeen and makes you a villain in the bee community. So there's a lot of bee communities across the state, so heads up on that. Listener text coming in, another one. Sports opinion makes you the villain in South Dakota. 7 classes of high school football is fine. And that might take the cake. That might take the cake. That's absolutely excellent. I don't know if there's anybody in. The problem with that is, you just sent that in. The problem with that, I'll tell you, nobody thinks that. You have to have kind of an opinion that actually people think. You're just trying to make one up. All right, I'll give it to you. But great text. But nobody thinks 7 classes of high school football is fine. Well, outside of some people, maybe in Pierre, maybe. Okay, maybe. I'm just telling you. 605-720-1067. Keep them coming. I've got my top 3. I tried giving you opinions that people actually have in the state, and they would make you a villain in the state still, okay? So SDSU, USD going FBS. That's one for me. Another top 3. This has been thrown out, so don't poo-poo this. I actually hate it. I actually do not like this. You should only have a Final Four for teams at state tournament. So you've heard about this, because I've had people on this show say this. Longtime broadcasters say, why do we do 8 teams? Why do we let 8 teams come to the state basketball tournaments, for example? Because it's a state basketball tournament. I've been told we should only do like the semifinals and the championship, and that's it. Just do a 4-team state tournament, and then you could combine them. You could have so many classes in one venue. It's a state tournament. I come from Montana. I've lived in Montana and South Dakota, okay? Fully. And you have to have 8 teams at a state tournament. I'm never going to so I would call you a villain if you bring that to me tonight If you're one of the guys that said, we only need 4 teams at the state basketball tournament, get out. You're gone. You're villain. You might not be villain number 1, but you're a villain. I can't do that. And by the way, 40% of people are voting that would make you a villain. So you're with me on this. So you're following me. People actually say that's a bad take. We're looking for bad takes in South Dakota is basically what I'm asking you. And the one that takes the cake, I'm going to get to yours on the text line. People are coming in. Keep them coming. And if you want to conversate, 605-720-1067. This is the one that takes the cake, and it's an opinion that's widely shared. What sports opinion would make you a villain in South Dakota? My number one answer, because people say it all the time, and people hate it. Sioux Falls is the best city for sports. Oh boy. Did I just upset anybody? No, because everybody in Sioux Falls says, well, of course. You guys listening right now say, Sioux Falls is the best city for sports? Of course it is. Am I going to admit that tonight on the Nate Brown Show? Are you going to take me across the finish line on that opinion? Do I want to become the number one villain in your life today on a sleepy Wednesday across South Dakota? Am I going to say Sioux Falls is the best city for sports in South Dakota? I think I have to. I've lived West River. You guys know this. Got a lot of respect for Sioux Falls. I love coming to Sioux Falls. And I got to say, here's 2 things that I've always said about Sioux Falls. Okay? Sioux Falls sports as a city. They really care. They care. And people, maybe you don't get what I mean. I'm talking from high school to college to the Summit League tournaments. I mean, I'm talking the whole thing. They care about sports, and that's part of being a great city for sports. They care, and part of caring is the second side. They invest. Okay? And I know T. Denny Sanford, the late T. Denny Sanford, so much investment there. I understand you got to have that first, but public and private partnerships, Sioux Falls has exploded on the sports category. So facilities, investment, programs, and then caring about if your teams win, have success, caring about high school football to a high degree. That's tough to say. What other city could you say, well, this is the best place for sports in South Dakota? Sioux Falls has it. The numbers, the entire thing, they do. I'm telling you, I love places like Yankton because they care a ton. So I know there's cities that care, but Sioux Falls has the advantage as the city, the numbers, the money. I mean, they've got it. So I am admitting to you slowly tonight. No, it's not slowly. I am admitting to you that is a sports opinion. That is real. Yet I do think it makes you a villain. If you walk around South Dakota and you say, well, Sioux Falls is they're just the best when it comes to sports. Sioux Falls is the best. You're going to get slapped. You walk into Pierre doing that, you're going to get slapped. All right. That's my top 3. There's my top 3. Let's read some of yours. 605-720-1067 is on the text line. What sports opinion would make you a villain in South Dakota? My top 3, Sioux Falls is the best sports city. 4 teams at state basketball tournaments only. And SDSU USD should go FBS. I think everybody has issues with all 3 of those. I have issues with basically one of those. The 4 teams at the state tournament. Never. I do not want to see that. I understand the 7th and 8th place game. Maybe you want to get rid of that game on a Saturday morning. But I want more than 4 teams to qualify for the state tournament, okay? Let's see. Listener text. Just get rid of the AA football class. That has to be... Okay, you want that. I think a lot of people would agree with you. It's kind of like the person who sent in the 7 classes. It's great. No, that makes you a villain, but nobody thinks that. Get rid of the AA football class. I think people would actually like that. Again, but careful in Pierre, careful in some of those communities. Maybe they wouldn't. Let's see. Lister text. No reason for the Jackson Yotes to go FBS. The university won't benefit. Okay, there's an opinion. I've got you. I don't know if I'd call you a villain for that. Lister text. Merge AAA and AA in football. There's a good one. Now, that would get you some villain status. That would get you some villain status, because then you're going to say, you're going to make Huron play against Harrisburg again? You're going to make Mitchell play against Sioux Falls Jefferson again? You're going to get into trouble on that. You are going to. So that's a good villain text. Lister text. What sports opinion makes you a villain in South Dakota? Club sports travel teams should take over all high school sport activities. Oh, my gosh. Holy cow. Where are you coming? What are you thinking today? That's quite the opinion. You obviously hit a nerve with me. I love high school sports. Careful on that. Another one, Lister text. State basketball tournament should be double elimination. State basketball tournament should be double elimination. I'm okay with that. You don't need the guaranteed 3 games. So I'm with you on that. Okay? Some of these, I think some of your opinions are great. I don't think they're going to put you in villain status. Sioux Falls is the best sports city. That puts you in villain status. One more. Lister text. Start penalizing schools for recruiting elementary school students for sports. Where's that going on? Can you let us know? We want to keep an eye on that. Are we recruiting elementary kids to come to our school for sports? Very interesting. Another one. Wait, this is a good one. Can I say who it's from? He's on vacation, but he's still part of the show. Matt Kearney. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Here's his idea. Make him a villain in South Dakota. We need the SODAC 32 qualifying for state tournaments. Yes! We don't need it. So good call. Good villain text. And finally, West River schools should break away and form their own conference for football. Again, solid. I think that would get you some villain status. They'd say, oh, what a bunch of pansies. They got to break away and form their own conference. I think a lot of people might think, maybe that's okay. Honestly, so interesting. Last one. I'm good stuff tonight. Just have one class of basketball. Well, you surely can't be serious. We used to have 2. Long time ago, we used to have 2. You can't have one. So I'd put you number 1 villain. But that's not a real opinion, right? You're just trying to find the biggest hot take. I'm telling you, mine aren't hot takes. These are real opinions. Sioux Falls is the best sports city. People are going to hit you on that. And SDSU, USD going FBS. I already got hit on it tonight. I already got hit on that. We got to keep 8 teams qualifying for the state tournament. Good run from you guys. If something comes to mind, let me know what makes you the biggest villain in your home state. What sports opinion makes you the biggest villain? This is your opinion now, but it makes you a big villain in your home state. 605-720-1067 on the text line. And Brian Noe is our first guest, national host for Fox Sports Radio, the A-lister. Brian Noe kicking things off.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Save big money when you shop at Menards. Transform your home in one weekend with exterior wood stain and sealer from Dutch Boy. It provides one-coat protection on decks, fences, siding, and outdoor furniture. It repels rain after just 4 hours of application. That means quicker results, saving you both time and money. Our knowledgeable team is ready to help bring your dreams to life, 1 gallon at a time. Stop by your local Menards today.
Save big money at Menards.
If you're grilling this weekend, be sure to have plenty of Village Hearth buns on hand. Fancy equipment and secret sauces are great, but once you've mastered the basics, it's all about the bun. Your perfectly grilled burgers and hot dogs deserve the best. And with several varieties to choose from, including unsliced old-fashioned, classic white or wheat, country potato, and mini sliders, the bakers of Village Hearth have the buns your family will love. Village Hearth Buns, locally baked and delivered fresh daily.
At Connect Home Center, they've been a part of the Mead Lumber family since 2000. Now, they're bringing everything together under one trusted name, Mead Lumber. Don't worry, your favorite team, great service, and high-quality products aren't going anywhere. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name. From design to finish, here for you every step of the way. Check them out at meadlumber.com.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Slight chance for storms tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows sit down to about 64. Southeasterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Thunderstorms likely tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 83. Cloudy skies expected. Mainly clear skies tomorrow night. Lows sit down to about 63. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 79.
Certified Honda value has never looked better at Denny Manor Rushmore Honda. Take advantage of 1.99% APR financing on select Honda certified pre-owned. Choose from Honda Civics, Accords, HRVs, and CRVs. That's 1.99% APR financing on our Honda certified pre-owned. Shop a huge selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs with over 370 to choose from. Drive with certified confidence at Denny Manor Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Length of finance contract is limited with qualified credit. Expires 7/31/26.
The action doesn't stop when the game starts.
Back at the wall, tie game!
Wagers Sportsbook and Grill is now open at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort, serving crave-worthy eats, ice-cold drinks, and non-stop energy. Dig into wings, smash burgers, and loaded bowls, then get in on the action at the BetMGM Sportsbook.
Shohei Ohtani!
Bet big, eat well, and catch every play from the front row. Learn more at CadillacJacksGaming.com. Every bite, every play, Wagers delivers.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. Have you thought about buying a home or real estate in the Black Hills? Maybe you want to upgrade to your forever home? I have been helping people in the Black Hills find the right home for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. Let me do the work, and you can open the door to your new home. Say hello to a good buy with me, David Brenneman. To get started, just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Having some fun. Question of the day. What sports opinion would make you the villain in your home state? So it's got to be an opinion you kind of maybe think, but you're afraid to say it. And we open it up tonight. It's all anonymous on the Barron's Wilson text line. Outside of Matt Kearney, who's on vacation and he's still texting into the show. We appreciate you, Matt. He's having a good time on vacation to the producer of the Nate Brown Show. So it's all anonymous. What sports opinion here in South Dakota would make you a villain in your home state? I just got one about Legion Baseball. This is a stunner. This is a stunner. The Legion Baseball State Tournament's coming up next week, by the way. Qualifying starting today. So this is good stuff. 605-720-1067. That's how you answer our question of the day. Brian Noe's on tonight from Vegas, Fox Sports Radio, national host of Countdown. Are you ready for some football? I know you weren't a football guy, so we're getting close to football, man. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm always ready for football here, Nate Brown. And I was into the World Cup. You know, I was rooting against Team USA. We all know that. But because I don't want soccer to be a big deal in this country. You know, I'm fine with it being around every 4 years, and then we don't pay attention for the next 4 years. That's where I want it. But that's just me. By the way, Nate. I see the big picture here. You know, I should be applauded for my foresight, not condemned for my so-called, I don't know, lack of patriotism. It's just a sports thing. But I was all into the World Cup, man. It was a lot of fun.
How about that? You know, I'm doing this South Dakota sports opinion that would make you a villain. That opinion right there on U.S. men's national team. You are a villain of the Nate Brown Show tonight.
I was a villain anywhere I said it. If Fox Sports Radio airwaves, the Nate Brown Show, people just don't get it. You know, it's just a sports thing, man. They don't understand what I'm saying. They just think I'm like, I hate the country. I love the country. I just don't like soccer. I don't want soccer to be a big deal in this country. I want our best athletes playing football and basketball. Doesn't mean I hate the country at all.
Very interesting.
People are dumb, Nate. That's the bottom line. People are dumb. They just hear what they think they want to hear or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, very interesting from you. By the way, $60 million with Telemundo and Fox. 60 million watched the final on Sunday. What does that tell you? That's more than some NFL playoff games, man. That's pretty big. That's Spain and Argentina, 60 million. What'd you think?
It just says that we love big events. That's what it says. It doesn't, like, listen, we watched Olympic hockey like crazy. Doesn't mean we love hockey. You know, like, we'll watch the Olympics. We'll scream, go USA, if it's the final for the World Cup, and Messi is arguably the GOAT, and this is his possible final World Cup game. Like, we love events. They had a great warm-up the night before, right? The day before when it was England taking on France. That was a great game. So we love events. It doesn't mean we love the sport itself. That's what it tells me. It's happened time and time again where, yeah, a big event will draw big ratings. Like, we'll watch Michael Phelps swim. Are we watching swimming at any other time? No. That's where we're at with soccer.
All right. Brian Noe's on tonight. I got some questions for you. Let's start with one that people are just continuing to discuss. Do you care about where LeBron James goes? Do you care how long he's taking to make decision number like 4 or something?
No, I really don't care, Nate. It's, look, I think it's over the top, dramatic. I think he knows where he's going. He's just dragging it out. But if anybody's earned the right to do it, it's him. You know, he's been around for 23 seasons. So he loves this. And think about this, too, Nate, where it's the season he just came off of with the Lakers. He was the third option, and he made it a point. He said it in one of his post-game press conferences. He's like, I've never been a third option ever in my life. You know, and he was a third option behind Luka, behind Austin Reeves when those guys were healthy, and he made it work to his credit. But he's not used to that role whatsoever. So he went from being the third option and a guy who he thought he was being taken for granted. There was the whole famous story where they're clapping it up. Luka reached a scoring milestone. Rui Hachimura reached a scoring milestone. LeBron just happened to win the most games in the history of the NBA the same night. And then they went crazy for J.J. Redick's 100th win as a coach. They had videos from his kids. They had a whole thing with the GM, Rob Pelinka, and LeBron's like, here we go again, me taken for granted. So the point is, Nate, he just came off of a season where he was the third option, where in his mind, at times, he was taken for granted. And now it's the flip side of that. It's a bunch of recruitment pitches. It's voicemails to his agent from upper management. Hey, LeBron, we'd love to see you in a Timberwolves jersey, buddy. All that stuff. The commissioner is like, LeBron, can you please make up your mind? We can't make the schedule until we know where you're playing. You're that powerful. So he is in no hurry. He is loving this. And it's over the top. But no, it doesn't bother me at all that he's taking his sweet time with it.
Okay, people, did you see this story about somebody with the Miami Heat putting out a link to an introductory press conference for July 27th to introduce LeBron James, and then they deleted it this morning? What's going on? How does that happen? What was it, a 22-year-old intern?
That's such a bad mistake, Nate. And I love, you know, there are all the conspiracy theories of they meant to do it, they didn't mean to do it, Nate. What's the gain in meaning to do it? What is it? Like, you spoil the surprise? That's not good for you. You risk royally ticking off LeBron James because he wants this to be a big unveiling, and he doesn't want it to be leaked whatsoever. There's no gain to leak it on purpose. So, yeah, some 22-year-old was like, I didn't know that, posted it, and everyone's looking at him sideways like, you idiot, what are you doing right now? I absolutely think that's what happened, and I thought he was going to Miami this whole time, Nate. I just think it makes the most sense through his eyes.
Wow.
Yeah, he didn't like being a third option with the Lakers. If he goes to the Sixers, he's a third or a fourth option at times behind Jaylen Brown, who was an MVP candidate last season, a healthy Embiid, Tyrese Maxey. That's not going to be great for LeBron. Cleveland, James Harden needs the ball all the time. If he goes to Miami, Giannis needs the ball, but not as much as James Harden. LeBron can dominate the ball. And when you look at their offensive weapons, he's going to be the second option, maybe the first option at times. He's not going to be a third option behind Bam Adebayo. He would be the first or second option with Giannis doing a little your turn, my turn type thing. I think that appeals way more to LeBron, and he can play golf all year long. He's a big golf guy now. He's not doing that in Philly or Cleveland.
Okay, so if he goes to Miami, then they'll have nobody that can shoot. Anyway, Giannis, LeBron, Bam, they're going to have to get some guys. I still say Golden State.
Tim Hardaway Jr., they got him. He can't wear number 10 because of his dad, but Tim Hardaway Jr. can stroke it. He's a shooter.
Still give me Golden State in the sweepstakes. I know they've fallen out of favor a little bit. I still say Golden State.
Nate,
huh?
No, zero chance he goes to Golden State. No possible way he ends up in Golden State. I will pay you 10 steaks. I will wine and dine you. You can have back the one that you owe me. I'll give you 10. I'll give you. There's no way. The planets would have to align for all those old tooth fossils to be healthy at the right time come playoff time. No, what Giannis? Think about this. Giannis has been in the league. It seems like forever now. He's only 31 years old. Jimmy Butler and Draymond are 36.
Yeah.
LeBron's 41. Steph's 38. No way. No way he goes to Golden State. Zero chance.
He loves those guys, so stay tuned. Hey, by the way, let's talk NFL really quickly. Brian Nozon tonight, Fox Sports Radio national host of Countdown. Follow him on X at The No Show. Kansas City Chiefs going to get a new stadium. I saw the mock-ups today. I saw the release. Looks like Arrowhead, but it's indoor. It's like shaped like Arrowhead, but it's indoor, and it's going to have translucent glass, like panels on top. It looks like a big greenhouse. $3 billion. Kansas City indoor stadium. Do you agree? Indoor, because now they're going to go after Super Bowl, Final Fours, all of that.
I hate it, Nate. I'll be honest with you. Listen. I get it because you want to host Final Fours, you want to host the Super Bowl. That makes sense. I just wish you'd be in the retractable roof business. You know, I love bad weather playoff games. I hate that you're seeing this go away. You're seeing Chicago's going to be a dome. Chicago is going to be a dome, Nate. That's just un-American right there. I hate that Kansas City is going to be a dome. I wish it was a retractable roof and you could still get those, not just horrible weather games, but cold weather, the elements. Like my fish, my Fins, my poor Fins went and played Kansas City. It was frigid. Tua Tagovailoa couldn't throw a screen pass that night. You know, like that's a home field advantage. I love stuff like that. And it hurts my football heart that that's going away one by one by one. I hate it. Well, we got D.C., Washington's going to be a dome too, I think, right? So Chicago, Kansas City, the Commanders. I hate this changing, Nate. It's not a good thing. I love the bad weather football games.
I disagree with Brian No, like 70% of your takes tonight. It's very interesting.
Wow.
I want to go indoor. I want to have a nice time at a game. I don't want to be sitting out in snow.
Gosh. A nice time at a game does not meet with playoff football, Nate. This is the elements. This is uncomfortable. This is like nasty. This is, what was it, Bud Grant? Remember the old Minnesota Vikings coach? This is my favorite moment because the Vikings have been in a dome for a long, long time. But when they were outside, they were hosting the Seahawks. And I forget, it was like at Minnesota, like the college football field or whatever they were. They were outside. Frigid. Here comes Bud Grant for the opening coin toss in a short sleeve shirt. It was beautiful. It was so good. No, that should not be going. You're a Denver Broncos fan, Nate. I can't believe you're embracing inside and 72 degrees. Oh, it's terrible. Horrible take by you, Nate Brown. I thought we were friends.
I want indoor stadiums. And by the way, the Buffalo Bills, though, are going outdoors. The new one coming online, they're going to keep it outdoors. If any place wants, indoors, they should. But they're going to stay tough like Brian No wants it. Fox Sports Radio, find him at the No Show. He's on tonight getting us started. As always, man, I appreciate it.
Always good hanging with you, Nate. By the way, before I go, I'll take your answer off the air, Sports Radio 101. But do you want Green Bay to be inside, too? That's the ultimate question. Them, too?
Yeah,
there's nothing sacred?
There's a reason for that, Brian. No, there's a reason Minnesota's indoors. Come on up to Minnesota in the winter and spend a couple of weeks and get back to me. There he goes. Brian No on tonight. Fox Sports Radio, host of Countdown as he gets ready for another NFL season. You hear him on Saturday and Sunday here on Fox Sports Radio. No, I mean, I know that maybe that's an opinion that's going to make me a villain. Is, of course, Kansas City should have it indoor. I mean, it's the economic impact is how I see it. I want big events at Kansas City. And so they're going to want you to go indoor. You're not going to get a Super Bowl if you're not. You're not going to get the Final Four, obviously, all that stuff. So you spend all this money, guys, $3 billion. 70% of it's going to be covered by the taxes and these bonds, whatever these bonds are. And so you got to go indoor to make sure that you get some huge events and the economic impact for Kansas City and the investment. That's how I see it. And yes, I want to have a comfortable time. I'm old. So Kansas City revealed the new stadium plan today. Check it out if you haven't. I'm a Broncos fan, and I'm even saying, the Chiefs, I think they're going to get this right. I think they're going to get this one right. Although I know many Chiefs fans listening tonight say, this is ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with outdoors and Arrowhead, and just make some improvements to Arrowhead and call it good. Yeah, they'll make some improvements, all right. $3 billion worth. Coming right back with John Bryce, national college football writer with USA Today. Kalen DeBoer did his press conference today at SEC Media Days, and one big question he was asked. I'll get into it coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
The following radio ad is Good Fun Squad approved.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the lady at the South Dakota Lottery who writes out those big checks for our winners. It's a lot of fun, but we've had so many big winners lately, my hand is tired. There was a $600,000 winner, a $2 million winner, a $4 million winner. That's a lot of zeros, and not normal zeros, big check zeros, and the winning never stops. That's why I'm learning to write with both hands.
Good fun.
Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson, McPherson Auction Company. On today's online-only auction, we are selling restaurant equipment and medical equipment. Stainless steel prep tables, various sizes. Here's a Hobart dishwasher, underbar glass dishwasher, holding cabinets, a Hobart mixer and attachments, Imperial 10-burner electric stove on casters, Victory commercial double-door freezer, and an Arctic Air commercial refrigerator. Stainless steel sinks, a Hobart slicer. Also selling a 2006 GMC van, Explorer conversion with a wheelchair lift. For more auction details and to bid and buy, go to McPhersonAuction.com.
Play at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort this summer, and you'll qualify for $25,000 Sizzling Saturdays. 3 players will be drawn every Saturday to grab their share of $25,000 in cash and prizes. Play with your Clubhouse card and earn entries automatically. There are loads of prizes, including up to $5,000 cash, and this month's featured prize, an infrared sauna valued at $3,500. It's all happening at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort in downtown Deadwood. Learn more at tinlizzy.com.
Are you looking for your next truck or SUV? Spearfish Motors has you covered. Last month, we traded for a great selection of quality pre-owned trucks, priced to fit every budget. Shopping for an SUV? Check out a great selection, every size, every style, and every price point, and all priced under market. Every pre-owned vehicle here is locally sourced, backed by the team you know and trust, and ready for your next adventure. Call, click, or stop by Spearfish GMC Cadillac today, or shop 24/7 at spearfishmotors.com.
If you haven't been to Trav's Outfitter yet, what are you waiting for? Trav's has the largest selection of footwear anywhere. Work, Western, and casual footwear, and we dare you to compare our selection to anyone. But here's the real difference. You don't have to sell yourself a pair of shoes. Our team helps you find the right fit for your feet. Find us in the old Kmart building, Trav's Outfitter. Best selection, best service, no BS.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. We are live on KWSN Sioux Falls. Welcome in, Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here. Appreciate you guys making this show possible. Having some fun today. Some great submissions to our question of the day. This isn't a podcast, man. Now, we turn this into a podcast, but this is interactive, man. This is good stuff. We asked the question of the day. You're answering tonight. What sports opinion in South Dakota that you have maybe would make you a villain in your home state? Some great contributions. I'm going to get to those. Hang on. Send them in on the text line. You're just hearing this, 605-720-1067. Hit us on the text line. What sports opinion in South Dakota would make you a villain in your home state? Please tell me. John Bryce is on tonight. Appreciate his time. SEC Media Days, Big Ten Media Days coming up. It's that time of year. USAtoday.com for the coverage with John now. USAtoday.com. John, how are you?
I'm great, Nate. You know, I love visiting with you, so I appreciate the invitation. And, yeah, I did Big 12 Media Days about 10 days ago, something like that, and then worked on the congressional stories and testimony that's ongoing and continuing to write from some of my exclusives at Big 12, and then got Big 10 popping next week, and the National College Personnel Symposium in Nashville the week after that, which is just a spectacular event with a who's who of personnel, directors, general managers, now NFL scouts. Last year was the first time I think every single NFL franchise was represented. It's really a seminal event on the calendar.
Okay, so I read your story yesterday about this NCAA concern, and we're talking on Capitol Hill, a separate concern here about the NCAA wanting to ban college sports predictive markets. And so the Kalshis, the Poly markets, this is taken off, and I've touched on this. FanDuel, I mean, you can go through it. It's live in South Dakota. When we don't even have mobile sports wagering, they've gotten around the rules, and you can do predictions, not quote-unquote bets. And the NCAA doesn't want this for college sports because of the prop element. Explain this here. It seems like they're late to the game again, John. I mean, this is already going.
Well, I wouldn't say that the NCAA is late to the game because they've been pushing for this to be banned since at least January of this year when NCAA President Charlie Baker very openly penned a letter and also did some media about trying to get it banned. But, you know, I split my time between South Bend, Indiana, and the greater Park City, Utah area, and predictive markets have found their way into Utah, and Utah has some of the most restrictive social laws of anywhere in the United States. And so it is concerning, I think, because, look, this is referenced in my story. This has been all over all of the news, USA Today news and otherwise, in the past couple of weeks. I mean, the president's teleprompt operator just got caught for making six-figure wages about what the president would or would not mention in his speeches and in President Trump's speeches. And so I think that element right there shows you just how ripe it can be for potential manipulation. And I think that the NCAA, which has been against this, which has really been against gambling overall, has had no gambling partners. Briefly saw the move by a subcommittee to allow gambling of other non-collegiate sports from student athletes last fall immediately overturned. But this is just a very dangerous, I would say, from a sports integrity standpoint. I mean, when you get into predictive markets, it's so easy to manipulate the predictive element of, say, this player is going to have 4 or 5 turnovers in a game, and he or she has a predictive market line of greater than 4 or less than 4, and I mean that's a pretty easy element to manipulate. We've seen it in the NBA. We just saw some NBA players that were basically found in violation of some of these ethical elements for how they were playing late in the game. I forget the player's name right off the top of my head, but his team was down 8, and we saw hustle that we don't see almost ever in the NBA, Nate, like ever. Whether the game's on the line or not, his team was down 8 with 4 seconds left, and he blitzed the length of the court to sink a layup, and now he's getting ready to go to jail because it was found that he was manipulating the system and gambling and doing all this illegal stuff. So I completely understand where the NCAA is coming from, and again, the NCAA is the voice of its member institutions.
Yeah, I guess why I say they're late is I've been on this just this year as well. I'm like, wait, this stuff's taking off on the sports side, and I'm just saying as the NCAA, here's the result yesterday. Dusty Johnson, who's from South Dakota, the U.S. representative, he said, well, this committee's going to look and make sure market integrity stays, and we'll take a look at this, and we'll keep looking at this. Well, what are they going to do? You're going to be able to bet on this stuff in college sports right here in a month.
You should probably try, not that you need me doing program guiding for you because you're a pro's pro, but I'd be working my ass off to get Dusty Johnson on your great radio show, Nate. That would be a heck of a gift for you, buddy.
All right.
But you're right. Is what's going to happen? Will there be some sort of temporary injunction issued that will preclude it? The testimony from Mr. Silky yesterday, the testimony from Mr. Bean from the Indian Gaming Association. He's based out at the Tacoma, Washington area. I found that very resonant, the way that they talk, like saying, look, we're beholden to state and federal regulators, and everything that we do is heavily scrutinized. These guys are self-regulated, and then there were a couple of witnesses, Kennedy from a firm in the New York area, I think, basically an advocate for the predictive markets, be it Kalshi or Polymarket or some of the other ones that have begun to emerge, and saying, well, no, we're self-regulated. We have the same sort of scrutiny as Finstra or commodities exchanges or whatever. And I really loved the quote that I used from the representative from Hawaii, Jill Tuoka, I think is how you pronounce her name. And she was like, you can put lipstick on a pig and you can even AI a pig. But the fact is that pig is still gambling, and gambling is gambling, sir. And I love that, not because of my position on the matter. I just love the fact that we got some candid talk amidst all this bluster yesterday on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. NCAA wants to ban the prediction markets. It's not betting. Well, yeah, it's predictions. Yeah,
and I would note real quickly, Nate, like, because it's predictive markets and predictive gaming, betting, gambling, whatever you want to call it, they are subject to different rules, and they're using those rules to skirt the same sort of anti-gaming laws and rules that are in place on collegiate campuses. You know, a few years ago, LSU foolishly decided to have like Caesar Sportsbook as the official sportsbook sponsor of LSU athletics, and that did not last very long. And there was another university that made a similar decision, and there are rules banning athletes from doing college athletes from being spokespeople for the gaming sites, for casinos, for a FanDuel, for DraftKings, for Caesars, for Harrah's, for whomever. The rules are not the same for these predictive markets because it's been such a gray area. So I completely understand. That was another element of the testimony yesterday, talking about how Kalshi reps and Polymarket reps have gone on to college campuses and recruited fraternity brothers to then spread the word and incentivize using these predictive markets over the traditional gaming systems. And certainly this is an important conversation, period, given the fact that we've spent so much of our summer, Nate, embroiled in this Brendan Sorsby saga and that it focuses on gambling. Yeah. I think it's even more important.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. Great coverage. John Bryce covered it, NCAA and predictive markets. Dusty Johnson from South Dakota chaired that subcommittee yesterday. USAtoday.com. It's there from John Bryce. By the way, my daughter interviewed Dusty Johnson at Girl State, and Nate Brown hasn't even done that this year, so I'll take your advice. We'll get Dusty Johnson on. By the way, SEC Media Days, one question I'll let you run. Kalen DeBoer had his press conference today. South Dakota native, a guy we love rooting for. Here's the question that got my attention. Kalen was asked, will your time at Alabama be defined by if you win a national championship? What do you say, John?
I think it will be. He had the intestinal fortitude, the temerity to be the guy to replace the guy. You never want to be the replacement to Nick Saban any more than you wanted to be the guy willing to replace Steve Spurrier when he left the University of Florida, or whomever, Paul Bear Bryant back in the day when he first left Alabama. I think it will be. I think a bare minimum for Kalen DeBoer's tenure at Alabama to be categorized as a success, he's got to get them in the semifinals of the playoffs, and he's probably going to get them there in the 12-team era, to be honest with you, because once it expands, there will be some who will diminish whatever is accomplished. But I think Alabama is going to be incredibly pressed to be a playoff team this year, Nate. I've studied their schedule at length and studied it more today as Kalen DeBoer was speaking, and I like Kalen a lot. I think his track record speaks for itself. I also, again, applaud him for having the guts to take that job. I don't know that he's the best fit in the world there. I'll be curious. This coaching carousel, if there's some West Coast openings, as there might be, Nate, especially some prominent West Coast openings, I'll be curious to see if Kalen DeBoer keeps concrete roots in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Alabama's going to be pressed to make the playoff this year?
I think so. They don't know who their starting quarterback is going to be. Or if they do, they're not saying it right now. And then they've got a schedule, I looked at it, where they can conceivably go 5-0 to begin the year, and probably should go 5-0 or will be favored to go 5-0 to begin the year. And then after that, they've got a Georgia game that I'll be covering for USA Today. I'll be there in person. Then I think right after that, they go to the University of Tennessee. Beyond that, I think they've got Texas A&M on the schedule, maybe an LSU or an Alabama, or maybe an LSU or an Ole Miss. I just think it's highly possible that Alabama ends up 9-3 this year, and 9-3 won't be the same as what it was a year ago when they played for the SEC championship and also had that win over Georgia. I absolutely. We had to do a poll at USA Today recently if Alabama will make the playoff, and I voted no, Alabama will not make the playoff.
John Bryce with great stuff tonight. Great story up there about the NCAA and their fight against the prediction markets, hot and heavy. USAtoday.com. Find him on X at John D. Bryce 1. John, good to have you as always. Thanks.
Appreciate you, Nate. Have a great week, buddy.
Thanks a lot. Have a nice weekend. John Bryce in tonight. USAtoday.com, national college football writer, live. Yeah, interesting stuff. Kalen DeBoer had his press conference today. It was a big question. Will your time at Alabama be defined by if you win a national championship or not? Is that fair for Kalen, guys? What do you think? Do you agree with that? Will Kalen DeBoer be judged at Alabama solely on if he wins a national championship? That's where Nick Saban was at. You know, and when Nick Saban didn't get to the national championship, people kind of thought, hey, what's going on? Well, now it's even more of a microscope. I mean, Kalen's like in a no-win situation. Kalen DeBoer, I mean, he's done a nice job and this and that, and as soon as he loses this game or that game, man, people just go crazy. So that's how they're defining Kalen DeBoer. You got to win a national championship. That's tough to do. And that's how they're defining his stay at Alabama. Would you agree with that? That was one of the big questions today at Kalen's press conference. Do you agree with that statement? Will Kalen DeBoer be judged at Alabama solely on if he wins a national championship? And I think it's unfair, but I do think that's right down there. I mean, I think that's right. He's in a no-win situation, stepping in for Nick Saban. The program was not at the highest level when Nick left. And now this new era, the transfer portal, the money, the whole thing, it's a tough business, tough place. And now he just has to win a national championship. No biggie, Kalen. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show with our answers to the question of the day. Good stuff coming in. I'm going to get to your texts on this. Which South Dakota sports opinion do you have that would make you a villain in your home state? I got a few good ones that just came in. If you want to be a part of it, 605-720-1067. Hit me on the text line. We're back with those next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Want to do more of what you love and earn cash back doing it? With a Visa Cashback Credit Card from Black Hills Federal Credit Union, it's possible. Earn 1.5% cash back on everyday purchases like gas and groceries, and use it to fund your shoe obsession, vinyl collection, or airline upgrade. Plus, spend $2,000 in your first 90 days and get a $200 cashback bonus. Learn more at bhfcu.com/cashback. Offer subject to credit approval. Other restrictions apply.
Serious DIYers know when it comes to brake jobs, quality matters. Now through August 31st, buy a set of Perfect Stop brake pads at your local Auto Value Parts store and receive a free can of brake cleaner. Perfect Stop brake pads are engineered to restore optimal braking performance while delivering quiet, dependable stopping power. Stop by your local Auto Value Parts store today, where we've got the parts, we've got the smarts, and your free can of brake cleaner too.
Do you have constant constipation, diarrhea, or heartburn? Those symptoms aren't normal. At Sanford Health Tower Road Clinic, we can help you find lasting relief with personalized care. Our digestive health experts treat a wide range of concerns, including stomach pain, Crohn's disease, and acid reflux. We can also help with important preventive care like regular colonoscopies. Our growing team is available close to home in Rapid City, and we're accepting new patients. Visit sanfordhealth.org for total digestive care.
Hey Black Hills, this is Scott Hanna. And this is Adam Ray, and we have a full-service mechanical repair shop, Gateway Tire and Alignment, right here, right now. We have top-of-the-line equipment with skilled, experienced, expert mechanics, offering all services from oil changes starting at $49.95 to brakes, to free AC checks, diagnostics, engine work, even diesel. We can get you in now. No more waiting for weeks to get your car in for service. We're your one-stop shop for sales and service. Visit us at 123 Omaha or go to GatewayAutoplex.com to book your appointment. Gateway Sales and Service. I'm Scott Hanna. And I'm Adam Ray. And nobody, I mean nobody, beats a Gateway deal.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Slight chance for storms. Tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows sit down to about 64. Southeasterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Thunderstorms likely. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 83. Cloudy skies expected. Mainly clear skies. Tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 63. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, 79.
If you're a business owner, you've invested your blood, sweat, and tears into your business. Long days, sleepless nights, all to build something that matters. But what if something happened to you tomorrow? What happens to everything you've built? Do you have a plan? Does your family have a plan? Contact Lee Cruz with New York Life right here in Rapid City. There are affordable options you maybe haven't considered. Just spend 15 minutes protecting what took you years to build. Call Lee Cruz, 605-360-8804, or Google Lee Cruz New York Live.
Don't shop what's left, shop what's coming. New Toyotas are arriving daily at Denny Manhole Toyota. Reserve your next Toyota before it ever hits the lot. Plus, qualified buyers can get 5.49% APR financing for 72 months on select Toyota certified used Camrys and Corollas. We're paying top dollar for clean used cars, trucks, and SUVs. Experience the fast, friendly, and fair way to buy or sell your vehicle at Denny Manhole Toyota or DennyManholeToyota.com. $16.33 per finance regardless of down with qualified credit. Expires 8/31/2026.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on KWSN Sioux Falls. Fox Sports Rapid City. Glad you're here. Appreciate you being a part of the program. And good stuff from you guys on the question of the day today. That's outstanding. Which South Dakota sports opinion would make you a villain in your home state? This is good. Mine? Did you hear mine at the opening of the show? I'll repeat. This makes me a villain. Sioux Falls is the best sports city in South Dakota. Oh, my gosh. Hang on. Don't kill me. I said it. And I have my reasons. I love South Dakota. I mean, there's some great towns, but Sioux Falls cares about sports. I'm telling you. Okay, let's go to some of your opinions on this. Let's go to the text line, 605-720-1067. Did I just tick off everybody in Rapid City? Did I tick everybody off, or do we have some, measured responses here? Do we have some measured responses? So let's go to the text line. What South Dakota sports opinion would make you a villain in your home state? Listener text from Sioux Falls. This is from a Sioux Falls listener. They say Sioux Falls should organize Legion baseball the way Rapid City does. If we had one top team and another team, Sioux Falls would dominate the way Rapid City dominates. Interesting. Well, I thought you were going to go the route of, not having Legion players play high school. That's kind of what the Rapid City route has been. I thought that's what you were going to go, but you're saying, Post 22 is going to be in the program, everybody funneled there. But hang on. Post 320, that second team that you referenced, pretty good. They have gotten pretty good. Heads up there. But I know what you're saying. You say Sioux Falls would dominate if they just had a couple of Legion teams. Well, hang on. You guys do that already for your Little League. You guys are. It's the Sioux Falls Super Team for Little League Baseball. You have one team for the whole metro. No wonder you win all the time. Let's see. Lister text, sports opinion that would make me a villain in South Dakota. NDSU moved up to FBS because they are a better program than SDSU, says Bob. He even signed his name. Bob says that. Be careful, Bob. This is Jack's country. This is Yote's country. He said NDSU moved up FBS because they're better than SDSU. Couple more. Sports opinion that would make you a villain. Lister text, get rid of all-stars in Little League Baseball. Oh, boy. Don't let many people hear that. Do not let many people hear that. Get rid of the all-star teams at the end of Little League Baseball. Let's see. Another one. Parents should have a 3-strike policy at games. You get kicked out 3 times for your behavior, you're banned for life. Whoa, hang on. Whoa, nobody wants to get kicked out 3 times. That's absurd. I'm with you on that. That is absurd. But banned permanently? That's, that's interesting. You can't get kicked out 3 times. I mean, so I agree with part of your deal there. 3 strikes, that seems reasonable. I mean, you get 3 strikes, you're a doofus, right? You get kicked out 3 times, you're just a doofus. So I guess ban you permanently? That's tough, man. That's tough stuff. Listener text. State basketball tournament. Okay, I saw that one. Let's see. One more. Do I have one more that came in? Get rid of 7 classes of football. Well, no, that would make you a hero. So I'm looking for the opinion that would make you a villain in this state. Not very popular in the state. He said get rid of 7 classes. That would make you a hero. So 605-720-1067. Number 1 vote getter on my poll as I put it on X. What sports opinion would make you a villain in South Dakota? They agree with me. The audience on X agrees with me, saying Sioux Falls is the best sports city, would make you the biggest villain in South Dakota. 44% say saying Sioux Falls is the best sports city is number 1 answer. 38% of my audience says having 4 teams qualify only for state. Having 4 teams qualify for state tournaments. Yeah, I can't do that. That's there's people that say that. We shouldn't have 8 teams at the state tournament. Well, of course we should. Now, we may not have to have the 7th and 8th place game. I'm with you on that, but 4 teams for a state tournament for basketball? Get it out of here. Get it out of here. Couple more. Listener text. Add 2 more football classes, 6-man A and 6-man B. Was that from Kearney? No, I just had to double check. Yeah, pretty interesting. That add 2 more football classes. If you say that, they stop reading. So when you say add 2 more football classes in this state, everybody stop reading. But we do believe in 6-man, right? I think 6-man's valid. I do believe in 6-man football. Listener text, couple more if we can get them. No youth tournaments for 12 and under. No youth tournaments for 12 and under. Oh, oh boy. Hey, those people that are just getting ready to go to the Nationals here and wherever. It's the 8U Nationals. You just really ticked them off. It's the 8U Nationals. We won the President's Cup for 2026 for the Midwest Upper Region, South Dakota, North Dakota. But they won the Nationals, and you just ticked them off. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show, 5 questions from Chris. Our loyal listener, Chris, sends them in. I'll send out some answers on the way.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterPark.com.
Imagine this, a bank that is committed to you, that understands your needs, your values, and your growth. No more settling for the status quo. Pioneer Bank and Trust offers tailored solutions, innovative services, and a team of experts dedicated to your success. You deserve more attention and more support from your bank. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table.
It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger? Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Hi, folks. Kevin McPherson, McPherson Auction Company. On today's online-only auction, we are selling restaurant equipment and medical equipment. Stainless steel prep tables, various sizes. Here's a Hobart dishwasher, underbar glass dishwasher, holding cabinets, a Hobart mixer and attachments, Imperial 10-burner electric stove on casters, Victory commercial double-door freezer, and an Arctic Air commercial refrigerator. Stainless steel sinks, a Hobart slicer. Also selling a 2006 GMC van, Explorer conversion with a wheelchair lift. For more auction details and to bid and buy, go to McPhersonAuction.com.
Hanging with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales. I see new models of stand-up and teardrop campers on your lot.
Yes, you do. We're proud to feature the new SGC Armor line of campers from Bontrager Outdoors. Bang for the buck, there's just nothing out there like these new super cool Armor campers and Bontrager teardrops.
And the suspension these campers have? Wow, so impressive.
All our campers come standard with the off-road package. Bontrager and Armor just ramped boondocking up another notch. And right now, you'll get the best price all year on these 2026 ultra-light, ultra-beefy, option-loaded campers and teardrops.
You gotta check out these new look campers, people. The new designs are fantastic, and so many options for their size.
And so many options for towing. No need for a diesel or a big truck. These only weigh around 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, so they can be towed by almost any rig.
Check out these new 2026 Bontrager and SGC Armor campers, everyone. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales. One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, glad you're a part of the program. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show, Wednesday edition. We're live, Fox Sports Radio. Our affiliates are Fox Sports Rapid City. Great station. Appreciate you guys, West River, and KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Great to have you on board, East River. Also, stream us anywhere. You've got us on X, at Nate Brown Show. So if you're on X, easy to find us. Follow the show, and you've got the guest lineup, the podcast, the questions of the day, all that good stuff. Try not be annoying, like blast you every second. So follow us at Nate Brown Show, and then you can watch us on your phone anywhere. Right there, at Nate Brown Show on X and YouTube channel. It's easy to get us there. The Nate Brown Show. Go to youtube.com, The Nate Brown Show, and you've got us live. Subscribe to the channel. We'd appreciate it. We'll go to North Dakota. Coming up, a guest. Haven't had him on for a long time. He's a great writer. Covers college hockey. Brad Elliott Schlossman, Grand Forks Herald. Why is he on tonight? Big story he has about UND hockey and their longtime play-by-play guy. UND hockey's big, right? Their longtime play-by-play guy. This is interesting. We'll get Brad Elliott Schlossman. He is on tap. Hang on. It is a Wednesday on the Nate Brown Show. What does that mean?
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
Chris, what do we got? We got 5 questions from Chris. What an original name. Our loyal listener, Chris, sends me 5 questions. We go with 5 answers. Here we go. The best I can do. Question 1. Nate, it's been reported that the NFL wants to amend the current CBA. They want to go to an 18-game schedule. If you were a player and you wanted to negotiate this, what would you ask for from the owners? Franchise tags? A requirement that all fields be grass, or maybe lifetime health insurance? I mean, those are some big things. Lifetime health insurance, that's a big thing. No franchise tags. You might be able to work in something that's pretty big. I don't think, hey, guess what, Chris? They aren't going to get anything. Maybe ask for a little more of the money. I don't know. They might give you a little more money because it's just one game, so the owners got you. They're not going to restructure some major things like the natural grass thing. People have talked about that since the World Cup and stuff, but no. They're not going to get rid of the franchise tag. They're not going to get rid of natural grass in all these new stadiums. They're going to go 18-game schedule, and they might give you a little more money. Maybe. They'll just take away a preseason game and make it an 18-game schedule. I don't think they're going to get much, Chris. Stay tuned. We're going to get 18 games. The players might get a little more money, maybe. So if you can get that, get it. Question number 2. The NBA is still investigating the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard for extra compensation, not part of his contract. Yeah, you asked me about this like a year ago, Chris. You know, the Kawhi Leonard Clippers, did he have a fake, was that fake company giving him money outside of his contract, which is illegal? This is crazy. The NBA is still investigating this. Nate, do you think the lawyers will ever complete this investigation, issue a report, and decide on any punishment for the Clippers? I totally forgot about this. I mean, I'm being honest, Chris. This is still going on. Kawhi Leonard was going to get traded to the Raptors, and now they're still, like, saying this lawsuit, this big investigation, still holding things up. And it's like, this is bonkers. I have to work through some stuff, and, you know, you got to do legal stuff, and I understand all this. The lawyers, and you have to get everything right. This has been a year since you've asked me this. This is crazy. I don't know what to tell you. They're going to issue a report. I have no clue. Where is this thing even at? What's Kawhi Leonard going to do? I don't have an answer for the first time on 5 questions from Chris. That's wild. Where'd you even find that, Chris? All right, question number 3. Major League Baseball regular season, over 100 games, and 6 American League teams have a winning record. Do you think that's a good thing with more parity and more teams still believe they have a shot at the playoffs? Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, I don't think we want people to run away with it, so we want races, and we've added wild cards, so we want teams to be invested in August here. So I think that's good. You say, if you're running a team like the Twins, would you push your chips to the center of the table and go for it? It's the Twins. What do you think? They won't. They're kind of in the mix. Not really. They won't do a thing. That's just my guess. August 3rd trade deadline. I don't think the Twins are doing anything. Let's see if I'm wrong. Let's see. Question number 4. Hosting the World Cup was a big investment for the fans, host cities. If a country could host one international event, would you put your resources into the World Cup or the Summer Olympics? Tough question. World Cup recency bias. It was really big, really good. I think I'm going Olympics. I still think that's a touch bigger. It's a touch bigger. I just think Olympics. I love the World Cup, and I think it's a huge sport, and the ratings were off the charts. The Olympics doesn't see like that stuff, right? The ratings like that, 60 million on Sunday watching Spain and Argentina, that was wild. But I think I'm going Summer Olympics. If I'm investing a ton of money anyway, I'm going Summer Olympics. Little bigger, and a little more return, I think. And by the way, I mean, it's tough to get tickets to the Olympics. It is tough. LA Summer Olympics coming up 28. Last question, 5 questions from Chris. Commissioner Greg Sankey of the SEC said if Congress passes that bill imposing spending caps and other guardrails, the SEC might leave and form its own rules and regulations. If one conference could do that, wouldn't other leagues do the same thing? Yeah, I don't know, man. SEC has enough money to do it. Big Ten has enough money to do it. They're self-sufficient. The other leagues, Big 12 doing their own thing, I don't think so. ACC, I don't think so. You got to have the big boys, the big money, the big TV. SEC and Big Ten are running the show. Could they be on their own? Probably. I think those are about the only 2 that could go and do their own thing. And they might cherry pick some big schools from those other conferences. 5 questions from Chris. That's in. And Brad Elliott Schlossman. Big story out of UND Hockey and their longtime play-by-play guy. Brad Elliott Schlossman from the Grand Forks Heralds. Coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Save big money at Menards. College move-in is just around the corner, and Menards has great deals on all the essentials, like storage organizers, laundry baskets, cleaning supplies, and more. Plus, find everything you need for a stylish and efficient space, including rugs, furniture, mini fridges, and other dorm room must-haves. Get ready for move-in day and head to Menards to make your space yours. And don't miss other great savings in our weekly flyer at menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
No one comes close to the selection of spirits at the best price than your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include a $6 savings on Pendleton 750s, now just $18.99. All flavors of Bacardi rums, just $15.99 for the 750. And for a great gift, check out Mr. Liquor's exclusive selection of etched bottles featuring popular landmarks like Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower, the B-21 Raider, and more. Available at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City, off Cantron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Slight chance for storms. Tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows dip down to about 64. Southeasterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Thunderstorms likely. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 83. Cloudy skies expected. Mainly clear skies. Tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 63. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 78 degrees.
Certified Honda value has never looked better at Denny Manor Rushmore Honda. Take advantage of 1.99% APR financing on select Honda certified pre-owned. Choose from Honda Civics, Accords, HRVs, and CRVs. That's 1.99% APR financing on our Honda certified pre-owned. Shop a huge selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs with over 370 to choose from. Drive with certified confidence at Denny Manor Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Like the finance contract is limited with qualified credit, expires 7/31/26.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear, Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Looking for a great place for a pregame meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right, your sports, your show. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. You found us, KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Our affiliates also Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show on tonight. Scott Pianowski is joining us live. Major League Baseball writer, YahooSports.com. He's coming up later. Scott Pianowski and talking Major League Baseball. Big streak in Major League Baseball. Second longest ever. I just saw that. We'll get into that. Let's go to UND, one of the best college hockey writers, I think, in the country, right? I mean, this guy's been really good. GrandForksHerald.com. Brad Elliott Schlossman, UND Hockey, big program. Interesting story. Longtime play-by-play guy, Tim Hennessy, is out as a full-time employee. So the story's out there, GrandForksHerald.com. Wanted to get him on. Brad, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I appreciate the time. Talked to UND Hockey with you over the years. Wanted to get you in. I saw this story. I thought, that's interesting from a media side, coverage side. And so longtime play-by-play guy, was a full-time employee at UND, and just found out here in the last couple of weeks he's not going to be a full-time employee. So what's your reaction as you kind of got into this initially with the longtime play-by-play man, Tim Hennessy?
Yeah, so, I think how schools employ their play-by-play announcers is a little different. Sometimes it's by the radio station. UND pays a lot of its play-by-play announcers in football and other sports by game through something called Fighting Hawks Sports Partnerships. But Tim has been a full-time employee with the school since 2009. The road to that is, back in the 80s when Tim was calling games. He's done it for 46 years, by the way.
Wow.
Which is why, his name catches a lot of attention. A lot of people have grown up listening to Tim Hennessy call hockey games. He was calling them back when there were no such thing as watching webcasts for road games. So he was kind of your connection if you weren't there. They weren't even televising a lot of home games. So he's a really prominent figure. He had kind of jumped from different radio stations, whoever had the rights. And then in about 2009, UND brought it in-house. And what the trend was at the time, radio stations schools would just buy the airtime for the broadcasts. And then UND hired its own broadcasters. And Tim was a full-time employee at that time. And what they did is they informed Tim a couple weeks ago that they were no longer going to have that position as a full-time employee, and they were going to begin contracting out on a game-by-game basis, kind of like they do at their other sports. They obviously are going through some other things right now with iHeartMedia. Their rights holder had significant layoffs across the nation, including with the Grand Forks office. And once they kind of work out their deal with iHeart, then they will begin the process of hiring their play-by-play announcer for men's hockey. Tim Hennessy told me that his plan, as long as his health is okay, he's had some health challenges in the last year, as long as his health is okay and the pay is right, that he'll come. He does want to come back next season, but I think we'll wait and see now what the next step is. But it sounds like that is the intention for him to be back next year, as long as those two things are there.
I got the gist of I got from your story. You can find this today, GrandForksHerald.com, from Brad Elliott Schlossman, play-by-play man Tim Hennessy for UND. Not going to be a full-time employee at the UND athletic department anymore, but still wants to do the games. The gist of it, though, I thought he's not so sure that he's going to be the guy. Is that, I mean, that's kind of what I got. He wants to be. Do you think he will be?
Well, I mean, I asked him that question. I said, do you want to call games, or do you think you will be calling games? And he said, well, yeah, that's the plan. He said that when he talked to the school, they indicated that, hey, this is what we're doing right now. We will have talks in a little bit about the Fighting Hawks sports partnerships from that angle. So I'm obviously not with the school. I can't say what, or I'm not Tim, so I can't say exactly how this is going to go. The vibe I got was that the parties intend to continue with Tim as the play-by-play guy.
Yeah. Why do you think UND, I guess, went away from the full-time spot? Is this a sign of the, hey, athletic departments kind of have to, cut a little bit? Is this a sign of those times we kind of got to look for ways to do things differently?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think I'm guessing there are very few schools around the country who employ full-time employees who call radio games. You might be more familiar with that than I am. I'm unaware of a setup like that. So I think the whole media landscape has changed quite a bit since 2009. And then, yeah, for sure, there are obviously budget considerations with that. And, UND cut the tennis program here after last season and is certainly looking for, as is every school, trying to find money in a new landscape.
Give me a sense for how big UND hockey is when you're listening to it on the radio for all these years. How big of a following did Tim Hennessy have, I don't know, the last 10 years for UND hockey?
I'm not super familiar with the numbers and what the statistics would say. So maybe I'm not the right person to ask. Bill, people know who Tim Hennessy is in this area, as I said. He's done it for so long. He's kind of been fans' connection to road games for a lot of times. That, again, the media landscape has changed. People can watch road games on webcast now. Has that impacted radio numbers? That part I am unfamiliar with. I can't say what that is like. Has the landscape changed? Well, for sure. People are consuming the product in a much different way. Games are much more available through other routes. Does that have anything to do with UND not employing a full-time employee to call men's hockey games? I don't know.
Very interesting. Big name and 46 years covering UND hockey. That's something. Tim Hennessy not going to be full-time at UND. Will he be the man moving forward? They're working on that through Fighting Hawks Sports Partnerships. Brad Elliott Schlossman's with the Grand Forks Herald, college hockey reporter, grandforksherald.com. I do want to ask you about something big in hockey, and I want to get your expertise on this. I'm not an expert on it. The NCAA is doing this new rule, 5 years of eligibility. That's it from high school, and everybody in the hockey world says this is going to hurt hockey. Explain what that deal is, the 5 years, and how it impacts.
Yeah, I think the deal is that you get 5 years of eligibility for college athletics, and red shirts are no longer a thing. Medical red shirts are no longer a thing. You started seeing, guys, the University of Miami football team has a tight end in his 9th year, and I think they wanted to cut that out. So that is the first part. The part that got college hockey programs concerned was that the clock was going to start when they graduated high school. And college hockey has a unique rule where you can defer your enrollment for 3 years before your clock starts ticking, your eligibility clock. Every other sport, you get 1 year deferred. Men's college hockey, it's 3 years. So a lot of times these guys go play junior hockey. And for those in South Dakota may be familiar with, they play for the Stampede, the Clark Cup champions. Yep. And they'll play there until they're ready to come to college. And it has been a great equalizer for some college programs. Hey, you can't get the super high-end players. You bring in freshmen who are a little bit older. And it had potential to disrupt it. What the college hockey proposed was that the 5-and-5 begins either when you enroll or when you're 19 instead of 18. I think what happened now is basically that it's not that big of a change anymore.
Okay.
So, basically you can, there won't be 25-year-olds. There still will be 24-year-olds, right? You can come in at age 20 for 4 years. You can come in at 19 for 5. So, I think that's a big difference. And you know what? The hockey world, when they go to the bat in the NCAA, they don't often get their way. The NCAA is very focused around football and men's basketball. So when the hockey group was pushing this rule, I kind of was like, yeah, sure. I'll believe it when I see it. Well, sure enough, they did it. So I think since they got that amended, I don't think the hockey world is now feeling as up in arms as they were as before.
Great stuff from Brad Elliott Schlossman, college hockey reporter at grandforksherald.com. He's on X at SchlossmanGF. You can find him. Covers UND, of course. Brad, good to have you again. I appreciate the time tonight. Thanks a lot.
Perfect. Thank you.
Appreciate your time. Brad Elliott Schlossman on the Nate Brown Show, grandforksherald.com. College hockey reporter. Story out about 46-year play-by-play guy Tim Hennessy being eliminated as a full-time employee at UND. And so I've had experience in this. Very rarely do the universities now have employees that are their play-by-play people. Very rarely. So I know UND hockey's big. I mean, I get UND hockey texts on this show. And I'm not an expert on UND hockey, that's for sure. So it's big, and it's like, well, this guy's been there forever, and he's a household name and the whole thing. It's interesting, and once guys start getting up there, and he missed some games last year, and then so people start speculating, do they really want this longtime play-by-play guy covering the team anymore or not? Well, it sounds like he still might be the guy, but they haven't done the deal quite yet as of late. UND hockey, or UND's going to let him go as a full-time employee, but through their partnership, Fighting Hawks Sports Partnerships might have Tim Hennessy still as the play-by-play guy. It's very interesting. Very interesting scenarios. Broadcasters have been doing it so long, and the fans, they say, hey, this is the guy, and then sometimes universities are trying to figure out, is this still the guy? Very interesting story. Brad L.H. Schlossman on tonight, GrandForksHerald.com. Coming right back with Major League Baseball's Scott Pianowski in a second longest winning streak in Major League Baseball history. We'll start with that. Yahoo Sports' Scott Pianowski next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterPark.com.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
Are you ready to feel good in your skin? Visit the dermatology experts at Sanford Health Tower Road Clinic in Rapid City. Our growing team offers skin, hair, and nail care close to home. Here you have access to acne treatments, Botox, and laser therapy. You can also trust our experts to help you manage skin cancer screenings and treatments. It's total skincare personalized for you. Schedule a skin cancer screening or learn more about our services at sanfordhealth.org.
Rev up your summer with the Stars, Stripes, and Savings event at Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Just announced employee pricing for everyone on new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500, plus 0% financing for well-qualified buyers. Need heavy-duty power? Get into a new GMC Sierra HD and save up to $3,000. Looking for the perfect SUV? We've got an incredible selection of Terrain, Acadia, Yukon, and Yukon XL ready to roll. Don't wait. Shop anytime at SpearfishMotors.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
In the past, if you needed auto body repair, you had to get multiple estimates and then try to get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
What are you doing?
Just getting in the holiday spirit.
Isn't it a little early for jingle bells and Christmas in general?
It's never too early for Christmas. But Renewal by Anderson's Christmas in July sale just got me in the mood.
A window sale started all of this?
It's not just any window sale. It's Renewal by Anderson.
Okay, settle down. I'll get the ladder and we'll get started hanging the lights.
Renewal by Anderson's Christmas in July sale. 20% off every window and door. No money, no payment, and no interest for 18 months with approved credit. This means no payments till 2028. Hurry, the holiday savings end August 15th. Hassle-free, energy-efficient, low-maintenance windows with a professional fit. Renewal by Anderson uses Fibrex windows, keeping your home cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, and reduces your energy bill. They do windows. They're the experts. No subcontractors. For a free in-home estimate and a perfect fit, go to RBARapidCity.com. That's RBARapidCity.com. Renewal by Anderson, when only the best will do.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
South South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio, KWSN in Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show. Glad you're on board. If you missed some of the show, go to the podcast. Easy to find us. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast, search The Nate Brown Show, and then you've got every show, every guest. We go from high school to college to the pros, so whatever you're looking for, we try and get you covered. Hit up the podcast, and you've got it. Download it, listen at your own convenience. The Nate Brown Show. Search for it, and you find us on your podcast platforms. Yahoo Sports, Scott Pianowski talking Major League Baseball. Scott, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I want to get your take on this streak. Red Sox win 15 in a row. That's they just tied their own streak. That's a long streak in Major League Baseball. Does this mean the Red Sox are in this? Are they in this?
Yeah, I think it does. There's a thing in baseball called signature significance, which is that small samples generally can't be trusted, but when something is so significant in magnitude, it can change the script. So if somebody just comes up from the minor leagues, throws like 6 or 7 shutout innings, you don't think, okay, that was a nice start. But if somebody came up from the minors and struck up 17 guys or threw a no-hitter, it's almost impossible to believe that player isn't particularly good. So 5-game winning streaks, 7-game winning streaks, those happen all the time. Bad teams can win 7 games in a row. But when you win 15 in a row, you're probably doing something right. What's so unusual about the Red Sox is that their 2 signature players before the season were Garrett Crochet, their Cy Young candidate, and Roman Anthony, their young outfielder, who they already extended, who was basically the face of their offense, and they've got nothing out of those guys. They both played for about a month. They're both on the injured list, not clear when they'll come back, and they weren't playing well before they went on the IL. And you look at the Red Sox, usually you think it's a team, they're bludgeoning people, Fenway Park and all that. It's been pitching. It's been defense, best outfield defense in baseball, best bullpen ERA in baseball, a very good rotation with some surprising guys. They got Sonny Gray. He's 12-1, 2.54, something like that. He's having an unbelievable season. The kid Bennett, who pitched today, has been really good. And a lineup of a lot of who's that. Rafaela, one of their outfielders, has been a nice player for them. Abreu is starting to become a star. They obviously traded for Contreras, or signed Contreras, and he's become kind of the player they wanted Devers to be, a very vocal person in the clubhouse who can hit in the middle of a lineup. So is this really a threat to win the World Series? Probably not, but it's going to be a team that will win 87, 88, 90 games, and because baseball, everybody has a puncher's chance, and because their pitching is so good, they'll be a difficult out in the playoffs.
Okay, this is Twins country. Twins losing record, just 5 games back in the AL Central. Do you do anything if you're the Twins? Trade deadline? I mean, are the Twins in this or not?
Again, it's a case of even if you get in, what's your upside? What the Twins have that everybody's going to want is they have Joe Ryan. They have an ace, somebody who could be the number 1 starter for any playoff team pretty much, with maybe a couple of exceptions. Maybe in Milwaukee, he wouldn't be their number 1, maybe not for the Dodgers, but for a lot of teams, they're number 1, if nothing worse than that, number 2. So you got to take all your phone calls and listen because you want to get a chance to reboot this. Buxton is what he is, a dynamic player, but he's hurt a lot. He's just back off the IL now. He's having a dynamic season on the heels of a dynamic season. But the idea is to have something sustainable, to have something that can year over year be good. I think they have to take every phone call on Joe Ryan, just like I think the Tigers have to take every phone call on Tariq Skubal. Yeah, could you squeak in? The wild card, especially in the American League, where the quality of play is so bad, a lot of teams that really aren't in it, they look at that wild card standings. Yeah, we're in it. We're only 3.5. We're only 4.5 back. How many teams do you have to pass? It's unrealistic. You're going to get in. If you get in, you're going to be a heavy underdog. So again, I think the Twins with Ryan, I think the Tigers with Skubal. Not only do they have to field every call, I think they should make a bunch of them too, and just say, look, we're open for business. Let's talk. Let's see what's in the farm system. Teams know you get a lot more for your players in the off season. You don't get the hauls that you used to. Nobody's making the Herschel Walker trade. Those types of deals don't happen anymore. But if you're the Twins, I think you have to take every phone call, and it's going to start with Joe Ryan.
Scott Pianowski's on tonight, talking Twins, talking Major League Baseball, YahooSports.com. He's on X at Scott_Pianowski. Yankees are ahead of these Red Sox by 4 games. The Yankees are 56-45. And Yankees fans are mad. Do they have a reason to be?
Yeah, well, it's obviously frustrating when Aaron Judge is in the lineup because everybody goes down a peg, and Goldschmidt was a nice story for a while. He really hasn't hit for about 4 or 5 weeks. I think every Yankee fan I know would like Aaron Boone to be out at the end of the season. Pulls back. He looks like an ace again. Do they have Fried just off the IL? If they can get their frontline pitching healthy, they can be dangerous. But that lineup, you have to have Judge in the lineup. And also the way they're losing some of these games. Grisham had a game where he just was running into outs left and right, and that's driving people crazy. It's a top-heavy team. It's a star-driven team. If you give me a healthy Cole, you give me a healthy Fried, you give me a healthy Judge, I think they're probably the favorite in the American League. But you need those 3 boxes to be checked. If something short of that, I think they're a team that's going to get beat in the American League playoffs.
Okay, Ohtani did a bullpen session. Do you go with Ohtani pitching and hitting?
The Dodgers, we always talk about them where the season starts, Nate, and they're in the playoffs already, or they have at least 8 toes in the playoffs. They're going to pull back on not just Ohtani. I mean, if Yamamoto has any tenderness in his forearm or elbow at any point, they're going to pull back on him. We know they've gotten pretty much nothing out of Snell and Glasnow this year. They're set up for October. So what you do is you pull back on Ohtani. I know he'd like to win a Cy Young. He wasn't going to win it anyway. The National League has too many great pitching candidates as it is. But the idea is to have him to be eligible in October and to give you 20, 25, 30 innings in the playoffs. So they're going to pull back from him, and I don't think he'll be much of a factor pitching for the rest of the regular season.
Scott Pianowski joining us, Major League Baseball, over 100 games now. Trade deadline is August 3rd. You think there's any it's going to be big trade deadline? It's going to be kind of just meh?
The problem is too many teams are in contention or quasi-contention. And I think what's going to happen is some of the teams that are set up to sell are going to be surprised when they're not getting overwhelmed. When teams say, okay, here's our list of prospects, here's our number 7 guy and our number 9 guy or our number 12 guy. And we go, wait a minute, we want the best players. So, again, maybe Detroit doesn't get what they want for Skubal. Maybe the Twins don't get what they want for Ryan. The Mets should be selling anything that they can sell, but we'll see. And you never know how that's going to play in a big market because obviously they're big expectations there, and they've been one of the flops this season. Toronto, an interesting team, a team that 1 game away, 1 inning away, 1 out away from a World Series, and now they have a losing record. But I suspect, I hate to say this, because when the trading deadline has buzz to it, it's one of the best days or sometimes even weeks of the year. I think last year there was a bunch of trading up until the deadline, then we had action on the final day. I'm sensing it's going to be a little bit tame. Also, some people may be pulling back financially with commitments because of the uncertainty of the labor situation. That could leak into this a little bit. My hunch is it's going to be a little bit quieter, but all it takes is a couple of moves to start. Sometimes that's a spark, and sometimes it winds up surprising you. I would love to be wrong on this, but my hunch right now is it's going to be quieter than normal.
Is your hunch, we've talked about this a few times, that players will be put under a salary cap for this next agreement, whenever that is?
I think eventually the owners will move off it. I think the players will hold the line on that. And there's enough other things. It's going to be what else do you give up to not have to accept the salary cap? Or maybe a case of there are certain penalties and there are certain luxury taxes where it works as a soft cap, but it's not a hard cap. I would be very surprised if the players ever accepted a hard cap in baseball in our lifetimes.
Scott Pianowski, good stuff tonight. Follow him at Scott_Pianowski on X, and it's at yahoosports.com. Always good, Scott. Thanks a lot.
Great to talk to you, Nate.
Appreciate your time. One of the best Major League Baseball guys we have, Scott Pianowski, live, yahoosports.com, National Major League Baseball analyst. Who's hot and who's not? Wrapping up the show next. You don't want to miss this. Speaking of sports betting, the numbers are out today. This is wild. Coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
All kinds of vehicles, all kinds of loans. all as low as 4.99% APR. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we're here to help all kinds of people, just like you. Get moving. From truck drivers to van warriors, we got the right loan to fit your style with rates as low as 4.99% APR. Wherever the road takes you, start with BHFCU. Apply today at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818.
Offer subject to credit approval. BHFCU is member-owned and insured by NCUA.
Are you tired of being pointed to a wall of shoes? At Trav's Outfitter, we know better. Buying shoes shouldn't be guesswork. That's why we find the right footwear for the way you move, whether you're walking, working, or just on your feet all day. Athletics, work boots, Western boots, everyday comfort. Because when the fit is right, life is better. Come find us in the old Kmart building. Trav's Outfitter, best selection, best service, no BS.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Slight chance for storms. Tonight, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Lows sit down to about 64. Southeasterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Thunderstorms likely. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 83. Cloudy skies expected. Mainly clear skies. Tomorrow night, lows dip down to about 63. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 78 degrees.
If you're in the market for a vehicle right now, you probably have noticed it's sometimes hard to find the right one. That's where Summit Automotive Group steps in. Stacy and Matt and their staff working hard to get a great selection of pre-owned vehicles at affordable prices. At Summit Automotive, they have a different outlook on selling you a vehicle. You'll experience stress-free shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com.
Hi, this is Jeremy with Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, inviting you to kickstart your morning by dropping by and grabbing some fresh donuts. I want to thank you for voting us the best in the Black Hills. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection to brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha, and remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great giveaways.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
All right, let's do this. Wrap up the Wednesday show. Get ready for Thursday. Let's keep grinding. Who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Best buffet is the Pizza Ranch. East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, and in Brandon. Fun Zone Arcade. Bring the family. No picky eaters. They've got everything you want. Buffet your way. The Pizza Ranch. Locally owned and operated. Who's hot and who's not here on the Nate Brown Show? In my Who's Hot category. Look at these numbers from the World Cup. Sportsbooks provided the numbers that the World Cup betting was more than the men's and women's basketball tournament by 30%. So you're talking about big there. Men's and women's tournament combined, World Cup betting was more 30% greater, the amount of bets. And then one sportsbook operator said the World Cup will go down as the biggest sports betting event in American history. It was the equivalent of 10 Super Bowls. The Hard Rock Sports book VP said that. The equivalent of 10 Super Bowls. Wild. Just absolutely wild. I saw Kalshi, whatever you want to call it, added 3 million new users over the past month. Just to get the app, the prediction app. All right. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, I feel sorry for the guy. What happened? I don't know, but the Miami Heat released a link for a live stream for a LeBron announcement. Yeah, they released it. They said, Introductory press conference, July 27th, LeBron signing, and then they deleted it. Big mistake. Stay tuned. Thanks for listening. We're back tomorrow.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice.